Okay, so on the final day of practice, Kelee Ringo showed out. Did he lock up A.J. Brown? Meanwhile, the defensive line looked great. Jalyx Hunt beat Jordan Mailata, Jordan Davis unblockable, and the forgotten sign-in picked by Lane? Sheesh. So much to break down, including Andrew Mukuba playing some linebacker and dime. Man, oh man, we got to get straight to it. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So the one and only mandatory minicamp is in the books, and it turned out to be a great one. For starters, every single Eagle player showed up, unlike other teams around the NFL, but we also got to learn a lot of key things, with this being the most important off-season practice of the season so far. Training camp will definitely give us more information and be more telling, but the guys who showed out when everybody was there in the one and only mandatory minicamp are guys we should be paying close attention to and monitoring, especially if they're at a position we have question marks about, and or just positions that are so deep, the competition is going to show up in July, so we can find out who is the starter. So let's start off with the linebacker position. We all know that Nakobe Dean and Jihaad Campbell are both injured and are going to take some time to come back. However, Jihaad Campbell was on the field with his helmet doing some team drills. Nothing crazy, but it is good to see him out there doing the little things, which means he might be back for July training camp, or at least the open practice on August 10th at 6:30, which has been announced. Tickets go on sale Thursday, June 12th at 10 a.m. Don't forget to get yours. Now let's get back to the linebackers. Zack Baun was in attendance but didn't practice due to general soreness. That's the Eagles giving their best players some days off, especially with Zack Baun being there all throughout OTAs. So the two starting linebackers were Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Smile Munden, the rookie. Although Zack Baun didn't practice yesterday, he did speak to the media, and of course, they asked him about Jihaad Campbell.
It's a big dude. Similar to myself, a versatile guy that can do a lot of different things. Just starting to see him move around a little bit, and the dude can move, and he's impressively very smart on the board as well. So I'm really excited for him.
It's not easy to impress an all-pro linebacker without even really suiting up. That says it all right there. But we will see him sooner than later. If he wasn't injured, he wouldn't have been there at pick 31. The Eagles got an absolute steal. They also asked him about Jeremiah Trotter Jr., which I think is important in case injuries happen and or people ain't ready.
Yeah, what I've always seen, just a smart, dedicated guy that tries to do the right thing every time. He's super smart, very athletic, and very instinctive when he plays the game.
It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out when everybody's healthy. The Eagles probably got the deepest linebacking room in the NFL. The one thing I'll say is I love how humble Zack Baun is. He never really wants to toot his own horn, although he made first team All Pro at the linebacker position. But I love this answer to the question of how good do you think you can be?
I don't know. We have to wait and see.
I mean, do you feel like there's a lot of room till your ceiling?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, like you said, that was my first real year playing inside linebacker. Um, you tell me.
The laugh said it all. Again, not too cocky, but he's starting to come out of his shell. And watch what the man does in year two. Flipping things over to the defensive line, Jalen Carter was in attendance. Like I said, everybody was there, but he didn't practice. So the starting defensive line in 11 on 11s was Azeez Ojulari, Maro Ajomo, Jordan Davis, and Jalyx Hunt, which both Jordan Davis and Jalyx Hunt had a sack on Jalen Hurts. Anthony DiBona on Twitter noted this: Davis and Hunt had the highest pressure rate among Eagle players with 20-plus pass rushing snaps last postseason per Pro Football Focus. Davis was first, 13.8%, and Hunt was second, 13%. So I love that they showed out in the mandatory minicamp, but it's been starting since last year's postseason, and they just carried it over. Listen to what Lane Johnson had to say about all the edge rushers and who stood out. But he did name somebody who's forgotten.
Edge rusher?
Yeah.
Uche? Yeah, he's. I mean, I remember playing Patriots really quick. I think he's very versatile. What he can do. Ojulari, I played against him and a lot in New York, and then I think Jalyx. I think this is going to be a big year for him. He has all the tools. He's gained some weight, so he's really. I think it's going to be a really breakout year for him. And then, obviously, Nolan. He's still Nolan. He's still setting the tone. So, maybe he can carry a piece of what BG did for, all these years here, but, very similar.
The first name he decided to say was Joshua Uche, but I love what he said about everyone, including Jalyx Hunt, getting bigger and also believes he's going to have a big year. We got to break that down and the rest of mandatory minicamp, but first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Ekster, introducing their new Wallet Pro, and again, it has improved leather. It holds 1 to 14 cards and bills, but 7 in the card holder, plus the trigger is metal instead of plastic. It's slimmer, the flap closes better due to removed inner lining, has a couple add-ons you can get, and it has a lifetime warranty. As for extra space where you can put cash, there's a multitude of places you can put it. Inside, outside, and they do got the money billfold, which is where I put it. Now, if you're wondering why I got 2 wallets, simply because I had to get the updated Wallet Pro, but I also needed a Father's Day gift, and what better gift than the Wallet Pro from Ekster. It also comes with a Finder card. You can put that inside as well or outside, and once that card is hooked up to your iPhone, if you misplace your wallet, no matter where it is in the house, sometimes you be losing it, especially fathers, it helps you find it. So click the link in the description, the pinned comment section, or scan the QR code in the corner to get up to 40% off from now to June 26, 2025. Use the discount code Philly, all capital, at checkout for an additional 10% off. Once again, use my link or QR code and use the discount code Philly, all capital, to get 40% off and an additional 10%. I promise you won't regret it. So let's start with Jalyx Hunt, who had a sack on Jalen Hurts, has been impressing Lane Johnson, but there were also reports that he beat Mailata on that sack and had Mailata frustrated, which is a crazy sign for a second-year guy beating all-pro left tackle Jordan Mailata. As for Nolan Smith, he can't really practice, but he is out there. We all know what he brings to the table. Now, Azeez Ojulari, I'm looking for him to fill in as a crucial Philly dog, and Lane remembered playing him when he was with the Giants, but the first name he said was Joshua Uche, a guy I feel like we all forgot about, who when we signed him had the same low-key write-up that Zack Baun had when he first got here. Not saying he's going to be that type of player, but he does have a double-digit sack season under his belt, gave Lane fits, and has been turning eyes, or why would Lane Johnson have named him first? Listen what Zack Baun said Nick Sirianni did at OTAs for all the one-year deal guys, and who Zack Baun spoken to directly.
Yeah, in team meetings, Nick mentions kind of my story, and with all the one-year deal guys we have now, Nick mentioned my story earlier on in OTAs, and I love it because he uses me as an example to kind of prove yourself, like, and this, especially in this organization. This is an organization that's going to give you a shot, an honest try, and yeah, I've talked to Josh Uche especially. He's really inspired and trying to take that same trajectory, that same path. And with that, it's a lot of hard work and just dedication to making it your best year.
The Eagles got Uche inspired, and the team sees it. All I'm going to say is this. We all know Nolan, and I think the outside world knows who Azeez Ojulari was. Good player at Georgia. But Jalyx Hunt goes overlooked outside of the Eagle fandom. And same with Josh Uche. He and Jalyx Hunt are going to ball out and make names in 2025. Lastly, for the defense, let's move back to the safeties and corner position. Of course, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean play outside and slot corner. And first up on the outside and first team defense this day was Kelee Ringo, and he absolutely made the most of it.
I thought Kelee Ringo had an outstanding day today. He had a touchdown breakup in the corner of the end zone. I think it was McKee to Terrace Marshall in the back corner of the end zone, but the throw was good. Terrace Marshall got up for it, and Kelee met him at the high point, knocked the ball away. And then his best play of the day might have been a play where he didn't even get targeted. It was 7-on-7. He was matched up 1-on-1 with AJ. When the ball came to Jalen, you could see he was looking at AJ. He wanted to go that way. But Kelee was stride for stride with AJ down the sideline and was right with him, and the ball wasn't thrown that way. So on the final day where he gets to impress coaches, I thought Kelee had a really strong practice.
Low-key locking up A.J. Brown is a good sign. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go that far. But he wanted the ball, didn't get the ball because Kelee was stride for stride with the great A.J. Brown, who's nasty 101. Again, not making too much of a big deal, but it's a good sign. We need to know who plays on the field with Quinyon and Cooper. As for the safety position, Sidney Brown was the first guy up, but Andrew Mukuba split reps at safety with them like they did during OTAs. Mukuba also played sort of a dime linebacker role on a few reps when the Eagles put 6 defensive backs on the field. The backup slot corner behind Cooper DeJean was once again Mac McWilliams, who has looked solid so far. It's nice to see Mac McMillan continue to get backup reps at slot. You never know when we're going to need them. As for the safety position on side of Reed Blankenship, I still don't know who's going to win, but hopefully whoever does gets pushed by the other. And I do like the versatility that both Sidney Brown has and Andrew Mukuba in big nickel or big dime, as we use Mukuba like we did Sidney Brown previous years. Switching over to the offensive side, Jalen Hurts continues to eat. Only one incompletion yesterday. The best play was Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith for a 30-plus yard touchdown. He threw a couple good passes to Danny Gray, who has been making noise for the Eagles, and a couple good passes to Terrace Marshall. As for the right guard spot, all through OTAs, it's been Tyler Steen starting, Matt Pryor to backup, and that's what it was yesterday. However, listen to Lane John talk about playing with Pryor and Steen and how he feels confident in them.
You know, we have played some snaps together, and, Matt Pryor's, we played some snaps together. So, I think collectively looking at our room, it's going to be, an open spot for that position. So, but, I'm confident with Steen and how he's played and the stuff that he showed on film.
Again, whoever plays that position, I'm thinking Steen is going to have a beast to the right in Lane Johnson and a beast to the left in Cam Jurgens. With all that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Go to the description, click the link, get your Ekster wallets. I promise you won't regret it. Also, muscle up if you're Philly strong. Leave a comment. Like I said, I really do love hearing from y'all. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out.